here is where the drama starts. Lap 30, 8 laps to go. Sam Doby hoping to take advantage of these lapped cars. Pileski dives onto the right side, very aggressive here. This is lap 4. The two Viceroys, Bill Frazier ahead of Matt Pileski. Frazier's off. Frazier hit the grass. You hit that tire wall, your day is done. Well, now it's lap 20. The Williams still trying to get around the Terrell team as he'll go around the left car and around those at the same time. At the same time, he's got the inside corner. Will he ride the curb? Yes, he will. He will get him on the inside. Nuna Maria leading us all into Moss's corner. Look at the beauty as his right side will cook the grass. Oh, a 180, no, a 360. Oh. Who will yield going into this corner? It's really not meant for too wide as it will be Gernald. Gernald will yield. Lots of smoke picking up from that Williams car. He is pushing it to the absolute limit. 26 of 30 now. Only 4 laps to go. He's going to get the run coming out the final corner. He's going to pull up side by side with the leader. It's going to be a drag race to the finish. Who is going to get there first? It's going to be...
Good day, race fans. It's round 4 of the Lotus 79 Classic Teams Championship, and you'll see it all live here on the Global SimRacing Channel. I'm Sean Ambrose, and with me today in the booth is legendary Lotus 79 pilot Sam Ryman. Over there in the chair, twisting and tweaking the dials, is the doctor himself, Amjad Yaman. Dougie Beard behind the camera lens for your viewing pleasure today. Last week, Watkins Glen brought the heat and the speed. Round 4 at Road Atlanta this week will be equally as hot and fast. You know, today, avoiding mistakes and full throttle are the name of the game. Cavalcade of stars are in line. Prix, West, Norlampi, Wood, Usher. The battle wheel to wheel, wing to wing. Sam, you've raced here. How difficult is Road Atlanta?
Well, when you first race here, Joe, you think this is very, very, very difficult because it's a roller coaster. Once you do a few races, though, here, it just downgrades to being very, very difficult. So, you know, a little bit of an improvement. Really, it's 2 different tracks. You start off at really the roller coaster portion of the circuit. You can see there in the bottom left corner of our picture, you're going left, right, left, right, left, right, left, and that's all downhill, so you hardly have any grip while you're doing all of that, and sometimes you can't react to an accident that breaks out ahead of you. But then you see after that, it kind of straightens out a little bit, and you pick up a little bit of speed around the back straight, and that's where you can definitely make passes and battle for position. So we normally end up seeing good races here. Let's give you just an idea of what it's like to go on this roller coaster with our GSRC lap guide.
All right, we've got Juhan Norlampi in the GSRC Lotus 79, so let's do a lap around Road Atlanta. Coming down to turn 1, passes into here will take some bravery. There's no braking, just a big lift and letting the ground effects and compression carry you through this scary sweeper. Bring it over to the middle of the track to give yourself a good line into the braking for 3. Expect to see lots of mistakes here with the high speeds and blind apex. From there, you'll be feeling out the gas through 4 until you reach the S's, and then finally you can get your foot down. Try to get the car off the right for 5, where once again, the compression helps the car turn in. But it gets light at the top when you try to get to the power, and many drivers have ended their races there over the years. Finally, it's a short breather to 6, where sometimes you can sneak a pass in. The banking carries a lot of speed though, and before you know it, you're into 7. This is easily the most important corner of the track. The launch you get off of here plays a big part in your lap time because you're now onto the long backstretch. Expect some drafting games to happen if 2 drivers are very close on pace. But in the end, you've also got a great passing opportunity into the final chicane. The tricky thing is you can defend from either side, so drivers might try to hang on to the position instead of just rolling over. Out of there, ease onto the power because wheel spin will most certainly be an issue. Watch the bumps under the bridge and then be brave through the final turn. And with that, you've now finished a lap around Road Atlanta.
And there you go. A lap around Road Atlanta right here in Brazelton, Georgia, folks. And let's take a look at the driver standings here as we head into round 4. It's Jarno Friesch at the top right now, 568 points. Matt Wood Tell you what, Matt had a great race and has tremendous speed here today. Just a couple hours ago, he's up a point in the standings and only 30 points behind Prix. He's having a great week. I think those standings may change heading into round 5. There we go. Steve Bycroft also running very well right now. There he is now up in the 3rd. Sergio Fernandez lost a couple spots. He's back 114 points. And then we have Pablo Suarez, 146 points out, but coming up the board with some successful runs here over the past couple weeks, Watkins Glen namely. Now, let's move on to the team standings, and there is Renault Elf at the top, 91 points. That's on the back of, course, Journal Preach and Keith Turner, Albalad Williams, Bycroft, Taylor having a great season, only 9 points back here, heading into round 4. Then you have Team Essex and also Fernandez, Simpkins off strong to start the season. The top 3 really bunched up there here early. Candy Team Tyrell coming up a spot, and, well, Chitan's still down there, 31 points back, only separated by a point. So Inhola, West, both were strong in the last race and strong here in qualifying right now. Sam, what about the details of what we're doing today for everybody joining us for the first time?
Well, let's take a look at those race details, Joe. For round number 4 of our 12-race season, there will be 4 drop weeks for the drivers and 2 drop weeks for the teams. Yes, I did that one on purpose, Sean. By the end of the season, we weren't accounting for those in the previous point standings graphics because we've only completed 3 rounds so far. 36-lap race. That is quite well, okay, I take that back. I was going to say it's quite a long time, quite a lot of racing. Not really, but it's going to feel like it because this track is that difficult. Open setup, some drivers will be racing with a bit more downforce if they want to feel comfortable. Some drivers will be racing with a little bit less downforce if they're feeling risky. And of course, all these cars can make it to the end on fuel and tires. Such was the standard back in the day of Formula One. And this, of course, the Lotus 79, the car that Mario Andretti took to the Formula One World Championship back in 1978. And there you see we're currently running through qualifying. All of the drivers have the track themselves. Matt Wood, currently the fastest. But I'm going to be keeping my eye, Sean, on that number 5 car of Eduardo Prado. He was in the Lotus 49 race here yesterday on GSRC, and he raced very well. So let's see what he can do.
Yeah, Prado is shown to be quite a competitor, and you know what? I like his chances here as well. Gernot Frisch just coming up to P4 in his qualifying run. Prado knocked down a couple of spots there in P9 currently. We'll see if he can get up as he's still working on his last run. Gernot, though, found the speed's going to get one more, probably a couple more cracks at it, actually. Sam, the lap times here, just amazing. 1:10 right now has Juha sitting on the top. That's really fast, buddy. But you did talk about the fact that it's 36 laps, and, well, whereas in time that doesn't seem like a very long time, this is a punishing track, and getting down through those S's and the very, very dangerous left-hander that is turn 5 can really, really be hard on this car. I saw a lot of wing damage a couple hours ago. It's pretty easy to pick it up here.
Yeah, even though these drivers can complete more than 2 laps during this qualifying session based on time, Sean, they're regulated to only 2 qualifying laps. So let's see if Frisch can jump up onto the top row as he comes out of a final turn across the line. He'll need to pick up a tenth or 2. He finds about half a second, so that will put him to the top spot. Now, if he wanted to, he could just keep driving around and get used to the track, but I have a feeling with a time like that, he's got this track down already.
Now, Johnny Bell still out there working on a lap. He's got one in right now. It was only good enough for P22. And he's faster than that. In fact, he had a really good run here a couple hours ago in the race earlier. I expect this lap to be a little bit better. He's going to get through here and just about halfway into the lap here. Bell still looking pretty good. I haven't seen any incidents. You talked about the 17 incidents here. Off track's not a big deal here, Sam, but getting in trouble here, easy to pick up contact if you find yourself side by side in the turn 10 chicane or even heading down the hill in the S's, you can pick up those incident points.
Yeah, around this side of the coursing's a little bit smoother. You see, if you saw this racetrack and only ever saw this side of it, you'd say, oh, this is a nice little racetrack. Nothing too tricky here at all. But then you get around a couple corners time, realise it's not that easy. What about Bell? He was 22nd, crossed the line. I think he improved his time, but he's still 22nd. Okay, that's one way they messed it up right there.
Think Schlocker's out there getting his lap. There he is on screen. Director was thinking the same thing I was. There we go. All right, so Stefan Schlocker's out there getting this, I believe, is his first time run. Let's see what Stefan's got under the pedal. He finished 8th in the last race. Picked up 7 spots, I believe it was. He started P15.
Yeah, and he's got the number 14 on his car this week. That tells you just how stacked this field is. You and I were talking during the GSRC lap guide, Sean. We've got about 10 or 11 big names. If you normally didn't see any other big names in the field, you'd say, oh, that guy's going to win it. So we've got a lot of great competition today. Stefan Schlager across the line, 20th place. I don't think he'll have enough time to complete his second lap. So he might have his work cut out for him as we watch Sergio Morales here. But yeah, even though we have a very strong field here today, and even though it's a single split, mind you, it's going to take some beating to get by that front row, Sean, because we have a number 1 and 2 cars on the front row of Gernot Frisch and Johan Orlampi, and both of those guys are very tricky to beat as qualifying comes to a close.
Yeah, and both didn't get the result they expected in the last race, Sam, and both expect to be racing with a bit of a chip on their shoulders. So we'll see. They could get ultra competitive and bid it in the first turn. We'll find out, but why don't we head on over to the grid and check things out. Gernot Frisch, Johan Orlampi on the front row. Matt Wood, Nicola Kochi, row 2. Steve Bycroft, Tommy and Hola on row 3. Row 4, Mark Usher starting 7th today. Ove Trengrade is here, and he's starting 8th. Row 5, Eduardo Prado, the Brazilian, will start 9th. And Kendrick Taylor rounds out your top 10, Sam.
Simon Van Doorn will be starting from 11th position ahead of Pablo Lombrera Suarez. Rob Olyanek will be starting from 13th, and back in 14th place is the number 6 car, Fabian Gerby. Won't be too thrilled with that. Dustin Herodor will be starting from 15th, and Eric Lucol in 16th. Barry West starting all the way back in 17th. That tells you how strong this field is, alongside Keith Turner. Robert Simpkins and Stefan Schlager round out row 10. That's GSRC's very own Stefan Schlager, who told us that's the quickest lap he's run all week. That tells you how good the rest of his field is, Sean.
Yep, just north of 2,800 strength of field today. Steve Sarles, the Texan, going to start 21st. Brad Klink here will start 22nd today. Johnny Bell starting 23rd in row 12, next to Todd Herner. Row 13, Sergio Morales and Andrew Horsley starting 26th. Row 14, Lasse Renin and Jordy McMahon starting 28th. And row 15, the only person on it, Ronald Wimberly, without a qualifying time today. So there you go, Sam. 29 cars here at Road Atlanta today. And real quickly, the weather, not too bad. Only about 70 degrees on track as we get ready to get started. The lights are up. We get ready for Johan Orlampi, Gernot Frisch. We're mean, green, and underway. Frisch with the jump on the start, Sam, down into 1.
Yeah, good start by both of our front row starters. Frisch getting a little tail happy in the first corner, but able to keep in the lead. Don't see too many cars running wide out of the first turn. That's been a problem in the past. But now we go down the hill, and here's where things can get tricky if we see cars run off.
A lot of cars got real smart, stepped in line to stern, down through the S's. Now the left-hander, that is 5. The leaders get through clean and already start to separate and gap the field back from 5th.
Now here's where you can actually start to breathe a little bit. You're kind of just holding on the wheel for dear life as you're going down the hill at the start of a lap. But now already Gernot Frisch has been able to break ahead of Johan Orlampi, and he's got a big gap over Matt Wood back in 3rd place. And Nicola Kochi might see that big gap ahead of Wood and say, hey, I want 3rd position. He's going to look alongside him, and Nicola Kochi is going to try and take the bronze step on the podium here on lap number 1.
Side by side, watch out in the chicane. Kochi gonna get through there, Sam, by the slightest of margins. Down the hill, Kochi's gonna hang on to that P3 spot, or moves up into that P3 spot, sorry. Back
Oh,
behind him,
wow,
Usher.
that's not a good place to spin. That was Mark Usher. Fortunately, he keeps it off the track, and it doesn't look like the car's too badly damaged, but it's going to cost him low positions.
Here we go with the replay of that. Here's Usher coming down the hill. Just a little bit too out into the fescue there. Keeps it just barely off the wall and out of the line. Everybody gets by safe, and he keeps going, Sam.
Yeah, and he comes back on ahead of Steve Salis, who actually in turn 3 had to turn a bit sharper to try and get back into line, and went off course but avoided hitting the wall, but that cost Steve Salis a few positions as well. So Mark Usher definitely has his work cut out for him now. He's down in 18th, and he's certainly a top 10 car. Some days a top 5 car, and we've seen him run away with wins in the past. I don't think that's happened in this race, so.
Yeah, he's got a lot of work to do here at this point. Speaking of work to do, Matt Wood, Bycroft, all chasing Kochi here at the moment. Journo turned the fastest lap, and then it was Matt Wood, as you see there in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Things starting to get fast up front, Sam. They are pulling away from Manhola back there in 6th.
Yeah, these leaders have the easier job now. The fact that they're all spaced out about out a second, they can find a rhythm. That's really what you need to do here at Road Atlanta. It is a tricky track, but it's not impossible. The key is finding a rhythm, and obviously that's a lot easier for these leader drivers who are thinned out, rather than drivers battling for position, such as Mark Usher, who just took 16th from Keith Erner.
And here you see the speed difference here. Juha Norlampi, Kochi. We talked a little bit about it in the pre-race, the difference in possibly downforce settings and how this could be affecting the shape of the race right now, Sam. Juha again being chased by Kochi. Prix pulling away though, continuing to pull away here a little bit, lap after lap, as we're already completed 3 laps, working on 4 now.
It almost wouldn't surprise me if Gernot Fries is a driver with low downforce settings. He's certainly a talented enough driver, I think, to be able to fight the car. He knows the car and be able to keep it on course in the lead, and that might be why he's able to just trek out on the field early on. Of course, that would cause problems if he ever made a mistake and got backhand traffic. It might make it hard to follow other drivers through the corners, but the easy solution to that is just keep them all in your mirrors.
Well, right now, Kochi, Wood, and Bycroft know the only way they could beat Juha Norlampi is to be brutally consistent, and so far that's been the case. They're not fighting too hard. What they are doing is hitting these turns perfectly and keeping pace with Norlampi, who is not keeping pace with Journo right now.
It was a little bit of a look for third position by Wood on Kochi as they went down the hill, but nothing happened. Is it possible to put a commentator's curse on another commentator, Sean?
It might be.
Well, let's find out. One of our big movers of the race so far, our own Stefan Schlacker, from 20th to 14th. Now, granted, in due time, he might lose one of those positions to Mark Usher, who just got 15th from Barry West behind him, but credit for 14th for that.
Yeah, coming down the hill, Usher put the move on Barry. Slipped right past him. Did it clean, too. It was a nice pass, and boy, he really gets a great run down through the S's.
Eric Lukol just made a mistake from 13th, and there you see Stefan Schlacker moves on by, so that's another position for him.
You know, and I talked about it. Stefan had a great run a couple hours ago. Picked up 7 or 8 spots in that race to get in, a top 10 finish.
Yeah, well, also Stefan told us he's running high downforce, and the nice thing about high downforce is you're not going to make a lot of mistakes out there. And that's, he didn't do too hot in qualifying back in 20th, but that might be a good race strategy. Meanwhile, got a little bit of a scrap going on for 8th position, Sean, or?
Yep, just backed up there. It's Pablo Suarez leading that entire group, but Taylor is really being pushed here by Dijun. Van Doon. I'm sorry, my bad there. It's Van Doon. Seeing Van Doon for the first time, actually, myself, personally. Gerber's in that mix, though, so you got to watch out.
Yeah, well, Van Doon has the scenario where he's got a very high number on his car, the number 19. That means iRacing, well, doesn't predict he'll finish 19th, but he has the 19th highest I rating in the field. It's an official series race. That's how he gets that number. But he's running in 10th, so if he keeps up here, he'll gain a lot of I rating points. However, it's going to be hard to do right now because he's definitely under a lot of pressure from behind from Fabian Gerber, who has the number 6 car and is running in 11th. So that would indicate that he would expect to be running better than 11th right now.
Yeah, and Fabian's picked up a few spots. Schlacher back there fighting with Lukel just behind them. Stefan here just in a hornet's nest. Gonna go 3 wide, not gonna push the issue there. 2 wide that's enough.
Oh, we
Kendrick Taylor.
Yeah, he was running in top 10. Oh, there was almost contact between Eric Luco and Stefan Schlacher, so we'll get a replay of both of these incidents. First, what happened to Taylor, and then you'll see how close things got in turn 3.
Yeah, he had a little bit of help there, and then we'll follow this on. Oof. Schlacher getting away with one there, Sam.
Yeah, but as those two are scrapping, Luco and Schlacher, that's really stacked the pack up behind them. Not only Mark Usher, but Barry West and Keith Hearn have closed in a bit as well. Not missing anything up front. Gurno Frisch's lead as he complete lap 7 is now up to 1.9 seconds over Juha Norlampi. You can follow the time and scoring of that on the left side of the screen.
Yeah, you said it a moment ago, though. This battle back here, Sam, really active. Schlacher, of course, in the middle of this mix. How many has he picked up now? Schlacher's picked up 7.
I wonder if he'll get another one here. Van Doon was really clambering over the turn 3 curb. I almost wonder if he got slowed down. He wouldn't be serving it yet because it's such a... sorry, Van Doon isn't ahead of Schlacher. He's in another battle ahead of Gerber. But he didn't have to serve a slowdown. He actually got away with it.
Yeah, we're on. Oh, action up front, Sam. We are going to head there right now. Kochi under attack for Matt Wood. Matt Wood coming around. Going to look to take the inside here into the turn. Wood pulling off the pass, down into the chicane.
Yeah, that was a nicely executed pass. I recall, I think it was a couple of seasons ago here, Wood didn't have a very great race. I could be bringing back a false memory. He's having a good one today, though. But now, of course, the question is, can he pull away from Kochi and run Noralampi down? He's about a second back.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of work to do here, but I'll tell you what, Matt Woods had pretty good pace here since we got started. Gets that position back from Kochi finally. It's Frisch that they've got to worry about, because he is starting to kind of extend his lead a little bit.
A lot of drivers having good races, Sean, some not so much. We should make a mention for Ove Trandre fans. I don't know what's happened to him, but he has gone backwards. He started 8th, he's all the way down to 21st.
Yeah, maybe Ove's just having a bad day. I don't get it either. He had a good day yesterday, Lotus and Camel, but the Lotus 49 and the Camel GT Series, but right now struggling just a bit. Trying to get a position here from Andrew Horsley.
So racing for 20th place of 27 cars in the race. Ronald Wimberley didn't start and Johnny Bell was a lap down. I saw him in the pits earlier.
And we're seeing another pass down 10A and 10. And there he goes, Ove Trend Grade, going to get it figured out here. Maybe not quite. They're coming still side by side down the hill. Oh, make a little bit of contact. Little hip check.
Yeah, Trantere, I'm sure Trantere has no problems racing this hard. We've seen him involved in great battles in the past, but I'm sure he's not happy about racing this hard for 20th place.
Boy, just when I thought he had that position worked out, it's still a dogfight here between the two.
Yeah, must be carrying some damage would be my assumption. Meanwhile, we saw Matt Wood get third from Nicola Cochi not too long ago, and now we're beginning to see why, because he not only has been faster than Cochi, he's been faster than Noralampi. He has run him down for second place.
He certainly has, Sam, and you can see the lap comparison there on screen. Juha, you know, this could be all about that downforce setting, or it could be Juha maybe fighting too hard too early, starting to lose a little something in those tires here with still a lot of laps to go in this race. You can see the gap there on screen. Those two are really, really close to getting into a side-by-side battle.
Yeah, and the best way for Wood to kick that off is to get a good run out of a hairpin here. Almost reminds me of Oak Tree at VIR in a way. It's a really slow speed right-hander that you have to get a good run out of for a long back straight right after it, and that's exactly what Wood has done. And it leads into a chicane just like VIR. I think I found VIR's sister, and Noralampi yields the position.
He really does. I think he knew that Matt had the slipstream there and was coming like really fast down, and he just relented, let him have it. Maybe he's going to get the same move here. Now, of course, that puts Juha in the slipstream here behind Matt Wood.
Now, Wood gets the fastest lap of a race, which of course means he will have decreased his gap to Gernot Frisch. However, I wonder how deceiving that is, Sean, given the basis that Wood would have gotten a great slipstream there down the back straight on Noralampi. Probably gained him a couple of tenths.
Probably did, Sam. Keith Herner just had trouble at the back, stuffed it into the wall. Herner, the number 17, and then Barry West has a problem. Let's look at the replay here. Barry West. Barry was already damaged just a bit.
He was running 16th when this happened. That's was that Keith Herner behind him who got into him there? Or?
I believe it. It was Simpkins.
Robert Simpkins, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Simpkins, he might actually be okay here, because if that's just damage the front wing on Simpkins, costing him a bit of top-end speed, maybe he could just ride in the slipstream of Keith Herner and Kendrick Taylor and stay behind them. Oh, especially as those two battle for position, that'll keep him nicely in touch.
All right, Herner able to get away from that finally. Sam up front, it's still a pretty tight battle on board here with Herner chasing Taylor. Juha still being hunted down by Steve Bycroft now, who's gotten it pretty close.
Yeah, I think he's about to make a move. He's looking down the inside now. Bycroft would have seen Noralampi yield to Wood. Maybe he's expecting the same treatment, and he gets it. Noralampi backs out. Steve Bycroft takes third place. For whatever reason, Noralampi not on top form today, not really willing to fight for it either.
Same place, same treatment, as you said there, Sam, at just the 2 laps later.
Meanwhile, keeping an interval on Frisch and Wood, it's pretty balanced, to be honest. And even though it looks quite significant right now, 3 seconds between them, the fact that Frisch isn't really pulling away from Wood, it means it's definitely not over, considering how many laps we've got to go in this event.
Right, and Journo cannot afford a mistake at this point. Again, we still haven't reached the halfway point, but any mistake is going to leave him victim here to Wood, because As long as Wood remains consistent and keeps that kind of those lap times that you saw in that comparison there going here, he'll continue to kind of creep up there, or at least keep pace with him. And again, like I said, any mistake could be just absolutely critical for Journeau and his quest for a championship here.
You know, I think you know what I want to say, Sean, but I don't want to say it because we've still got over half a race to go. It has been a not dirty race so far. There we go. Maybe we can avoid the drinks that way.
Olenek, Gerber, sorry, Sam. That was nothing dirty about that. Just a nice, clean pass where we've seen all the action today. Down to the turn 10 chicane. Oh, Van Doon, trouble, Sam.
Yep. Figured that would happen as soon as I said something. He's able to keep it going, though.
He is able to keep it going, but right on board with him here. He's going to hit hard, Sam. Ouch. He'll take it down the safety road.
Yeah, the nice thing about that, it was a square front end on impact, and he doesn't go down pit road. He may have already thought past the point of return of going into the pits. So I'll see if he's able to keep going. If all he's got is nose damage, it might be worth staying out there.
Well, it doesn't look like it's handling too bad. It's certainly not crabbing. Well, like you said, if that's all he's working with, then maybe he can salvage a decent finish here at this point.
Side by side for 12th. Usher gets by Schlacker. And Schlacker counterattacks, but I don't think anything's happening there.
Just
it's going to go for it. Whoa! Usher pushes him onto the grass, and Schlacker backs out a little bit for the final turn.
Yeah, and out of the corner of their eye, they had to see Eric Lukel going off track just in front of them. Schlacker back on the chase here after losing a little bit of time, Sam.
So yeah, Schlacker put up more of a fight than I thought he would. Mark Usher only up to 12th. Likewise, Ove Trandre only up to 18th since the last time we checked on him. So a lot of drivers who haven't gone off to the best starts today having difficulty working their way back up through the field.
Yeah, Schlacker. Sam, has he got just a little bit of damage on that left wing? And if so, could that really be hurting him in the slipstream?
It wouldn't be hurting him in the slipstream on the straights. It might be hurting him in the turns. He'll try and keep up with Usher, I'm sure. You know, you use the slipstream to his advantage. As Usher has gone... Well, no, he remains 2.5 seconds down the road from Eric Lukel in 11th. Meanwhile, we still have this battle going on for 15th.
Yep.
Van Doon trying to come back.
Well, Van Doon just gave up those 2 spots to Herner and Taylor as they got by. So obviously that damage got him a little bit off. He thought it was better to just let those guys have it. Now he's got to worry about Ove Trengrade just behind him.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's still got half a race left. If he's losing that much time, would it be worth it to come in and replace that front win? There aren't any scheduled pit stops, so it's kind of darned if he does, darned if he doesn't right now. And right now, he might be about to lose 17th place to Ove Trandre, who's still trying to work his way back up through the field.
And Sam, another pass going on here. Olenek having a fight with Suarez.
Yeah, both of these two up 4 positions from where they started. In fact, even as same with Fabian Gerber behind them. These guys started in 12th, 13th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. Now they're 8th, 9th, and 10th. So they've just been racing together as a pack, I guess, and they're going in the right direction.
Yeah, and Olenek stepped out there, tried to make a move, paid for it a little bit. Suarez hangs on to that P8 spot. Things up front have spread out, though. No really good battles up in the top 5 at the moment. This one of the hotly contested battles on track.
And of course, one driver who's glad that there's no battles going on in the top 5 right now is Juha Noralampi. He's seemed to have stopped the bleeding in 4th position. Matt Wood, meanwhile, though, has closed in on Prix by about a second, so we'll keep an eye on that.
We certainly will. I talked about that a little while ago. He get just a little bit every lap, but this battle here really fun to watch. All 3 drivers on point, Sam. Halfway now into this race, their lack of any real mistakes have allowed them to continue to track under here, running 112s at race pace.
Yeah, well, the cooler track temperature's probably helping them with that, although I wonder how much it will heat up during the race, given the fact that I haven't really seen any cloud cover here today. But also these drivers will have to be concerned in the long run with, that even though the tyres are plenty durable to do a full race length, they will start to slide a little bit under heavy braking and sharp turning in the later laps, even as fuel does burn off, and this car feels magnificent when the fuel does burn off if you have taken care of your tyres. So we'll see who it plays into the favour of in the closing laps, as right now this battle for 8th, 9th and 10th between Suarez, Oljanek and Gerber continues down the back straight. I think Oljanek has a little bit of a run. He might be running with a little bit less downforce here than Suarez. He's going to try and make the most of it, go to the outside, later on the brakes, but he overshoots, gets close to the grass, and there's contact coming out of a turn. They were rubbing wheels there. Both get away with Suarez still ahead.
Oljanek again pressing the issue. Nothing wrong with that. Having a little bit of fun. Gonna look for another pass. No. Goes to the outside. Almost got it out there in the grass. Gotta be careful there, Rob. Coming up the hill. We'll see if maybe he makes a dive here down the S's. On board with Rob. No, he's going to take it easy here. Going to try and manage the left-hander safely up the hill. Get back into the slipstream here.
The best thing about this battle for 8th, 9th and 10th, Sean, look at the back of your picture there. Look at who's worked his way into 11th and may soon be joining this little scrap.
Yeah, Mark Usher is right back there, and he's bringing Eric Lukel along with him, who had a little bit of an off earlier, but has recovered well.
Once again, Oljanek able to get such a better top speed run down the back straight, and this time he pulls off. He gets ahead of Suarez, but if Oljanek is running with less downforce, this could hurt him in a twisty part of a circuit that they're coming up to. Let's see if Suarez gets right back up onto his rear wing.
Well, I think as they look at their relative, Sam, they've got to know that the position up in front of them is starting to get a bit out of range. They can have P8, but they've got to be careful to get it done here over these last remaining laps. Let's look at Journo, though, real quick as he starts to manage his way through the traffic.
Yeah, he just put a lap.
Oh, boy.
Well, just put a lap on a couple cars there, and they're both between him and Wood. That is really going to hurt Wood. Wood had gotten that gap down to a second. I think it's going to open back up a little bit now. Prix got through that a lot better.
Yeah, Wood had trouble getting around Lasse Reinen. Now having a little bit of trouble getting around Jordy McMahon. Oh, boy.
The race isn't over when you're up front, is it?
And that gap now to just under 2 seconds. You can look there, Sam, at the laps and the time lost.
Yeah, and all happened in the final sector. Would have lost like half a second on Prix share. But it isn't over yet. There's still a lot of lap traffic for these two to navigate. Ahead of them is Brad Klenk running in 21st place. Then they get to the damaged car of Simon de Dune running down in 20th place. Robert Simpkins in 19th. and there's still plenty of laps left. So there'll be plenty of opportunities for Wood. He'll win some of them, he'll lose some of them, you know, with regards to gaining time or losing time to Gernot Frisch. Last time he just happened to lose some time, but this time Frisch has caught up with Clonk at a very bad part of a track, Clink rather, at a very bad part of a track, and that would have cost him a little bit.
Well, he does clear Clink, and now he's got a bit of clean track in front of him, but look at that gap there. Matt Wood actually
off
brought
goes
it back
Clink.
down.
Clank spins around and and still backing out across the track. He doesn't lock it down, and that causes a couple cars to run off.
Right in front of Juha Norlampi. I don't know how Norlampi missed that. Here's the replay.
Lasse Räisänen really had to go in the grass to avoid his car. I mean, when this happens, you're meant to just get on the brakes, but I guess the reason he didn't want to do that was because he was, you know, parked right on the racing line. He wanted to get off of it. At the blind corner, there was really no good solution for him, to be honest.
Sam, I think as we look at Brad Klink there on screen, and he's struggling a bit. I think Journo has got a mirror full of Matt Wood now. Matt really closing this thing down, and they're coming up on that damaged car, Van Doon.
Yeah, that time Frisch definitely got through the lap traffic worse than what Wood did. So what's going to happen this time? They're definitely not at a passing opportunity. Van Doon lets one by, he lets two by, and they won't catch Robert Simpkins for a little while. So what can Wood do in the next few turns here? Can he close that gap to Frisch and get right on his tail for the back straight? My guess would be no, but even then we still have a third of this race left to go and lots more lap traffic to come.
Boy, Matt Wood, a tremendous run at Watkins Glen last week. We're seeing another great one here this week at Road Atlanta, catching the great Gernot Frisch.
Still plenty of battles going out on the circuit. We're keeping an eye on this one for now, as Wood is within a second of our leader. Nothing happening there, though. One of the battles is for 10th place. Fabian Gerber running 10th, and Mark Usher trying to break his way back up into the top 10.
It really is, Sam. You say break his way in. He is about to break down the barn door here. Gerber really got to be careful. Mark stepped out a couple of times, not able to pull a pass off, but I think he's got him in his sights here, Sam.
Gerber going defensive. Usher late on the brakes. Whoa, really getting the car a bit twitchy there through the chicane, but he's able to control it and take the position away. Next target, Suarez.
Really still is one of the great battles on the track, watching those guys battle for 8th place. Prado's pulled away a little bit more because of all that battling. He's safe up there in P7 right now. We've talked so little about the Brazilian, who has shown great pace in just about anything he has stepped into. Really had a quiet race so far.
Yeah, Prado, unfortunately for him, it's going to be a bit difficult for him to gain any positions because it's about 10 seconds up the road to Tommy Unhola. And for Tommy, he's got the same problem. It's about 10 seconds up the road from him to Nicola Cochi. And in fact, Cochi just had a bit of a mistake coming out of turn 6. But he had such a big gap, it really didn't cost him anything. He remained in 5th.
Cochi coming up on Van Doon here. And Sam, did you see who just had the fastest lap of the race?
Was it Stefan Schwarker?
No, it was Matt Wood, actually.
Oh, that would explain why he's right on the gearbox of Gernot Frisch, coming up to one of the most best passing opportunities on the track. That would explain why our directors cut to him.
Uh-huh. Matt is on the way. I believe that was Simpkins they just got by and put a lap down.
And 10 laps to go when they cross the line. I don't care if you're racing at Nürburgring or at Bristol. Whenever you see 10 laps left to go, you start thinking, hey, I might want to make a move soon. Okay, maybe Nürburgring's a bit of an exaggeration. Nürburgring, it's more like when you got half a lap to go.
I love being able to see the speed, Sam. 160 plus miles an hour down there across the start-finish line and down into the turn one.
Frisch's missing a couple of apexes. Wood definitely seems to have it down a bit better right now. They get behind another lap car.
I think what I'm seeing here over the last couple weeks is Matt really favors these high-speed circuits, Sam. Likes the low downforce, doesn't have any trouble handling the twisty bits, and really doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes. You can see Journo trying to break that slipstream every chance he gets.
Yeah, Wood is too far back to make a pass this time into the braking zone, but he's definitely in Frisch's mind, and you can see that by how Frisch was driving a bit defensively down the back straight there. So here they come across the line, 9 laps left to go. The gap was 0.4 of a second. It's now 0.2 of a second. That doesn't really mean anything. Wood will pretty much stay as far back of Frisch as he feels comfortable until he can sense a passing opportunity.
All right, Sam, let's step away from the battle just a second. Go to the replay here. Rob Olenek had a problem. We missed it live, but we got the replay here for you. Going up the hill, side by side. Right in front of Schlocker. Is that Schlocker? Oh. I'm sorry, that was Pablo Suarez. That they were side by side, and Suarez with the hip check. One more look at it on board with Pablo. And a little bit of side pod contact with that left front.
Yeah, not the desired place for going side by side. Fortunately, Olenek, I think, has been able to continue, but it's cost him a few positions.
Yeah, it's actually put him back where he qualified. Rob sitting back in 13th now after being in the thick of that battle for most of this race. Back to the front, though, and this is not settled yet. I don't think it'll be settled, and Journo overdriving it just a bit there, Sam.
Yeah, I think it'll be settled in about 7.5 laps.
Well, we wanted a battle at the top. We certainly got it. Matt Wood bringing the heat today.
Oh, and let's not count Steve Bycroft out. As these two have been battling, Bycroft has reeled them both in a little bit. I mean, if things get too fierce and they worry about each other too much, maybe the 7 car could come up and do something.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because, you know what he's been doing? He's been managing the store back there. Steve has been managing the store. I was going to say something about it before the Rob Olenek incident. And he's the winner, right? If Journo, Matt get together, there's your guy that's going to win this race. And, well, Steve is running consistent, great pace. And that's all he's got to do here at this point. Just enough to stay back about 2 seconds or so is all he needs for a win today.
And look at that. 4. He got fastest lap.
Yep.
Oh, and I was about to create some controversy, and it didn't happen. Keith Herner, teammate of Gernot Frisch, pulls onto the alternate course there to let the leaders by. Oh, well. I was going to see if he was going to try hold Wood up a little bit. Interest of good racing. Thanks for doing that, Herner. Rather than creating controversy, he's allowed us to continue have a good race here for the lead.
Damn, there's 1 and there's 2. Two always obeys orders. He's supposed to anyway.
Yeah, Frisch able to gap Wood a little bit. I mean, Wood's definitely not out of a running, but whenever you're running second or you're right behind a guy and it's the closing laps and they gain a couple of tenths of you, it's not too worrying as long as they don't do it again. you know, you've got to respond. I mean, Wood, he can afford to stay half a second back of Friesch or so. He can't really afford to fall back a full second, though. So Wood needs to crack out a good lap here, stay on the win of Friesch. And then he does have to start thinking about, though, how do I make a move? Because, I mean, normally by this point in the race, it doesn't bother me that Wood hasn't taken the lead yet, but it does bug me a little bit for Wood that he hasn't even attempted to stick a nose out or anything. Perhaps he's having difficulty, you know, if he's running a bit more downforce than Friesch, maybe he's not able to get the straight line speed of that car in front.
Yeah, but do you think he also knows he has time, right? He's still got time to get this done.
I'm going to compare their speeds into the braking zone. Gernot Friesch is, as they go down the hill here, he's getting right up to about 170 miles an hour before they run the brakes. I have to go back in time a little bit, check my telemetry, see what Matt Wood got. He was about 172. With a slipstream, I'd like to think he'd have more than a 2 mile an hour edge.
Going back to what you said a lot earlier about the downforce settings that Journo working with, obviously he's got that trimmed out probably just about as much as you can. Or at least as much as you can safely get away with.
5 laps to go. Bykov still 2 seconds back. What other battles do we have left to resolve out here, Sean? Yeah, 8th place.
Yeah, that one
I
hasn't
think that's
gone
just
away,
changed
man.
hands, actually, because Usher's ahead. Can Gerber get Suarez?
No, actually, no. Gerber and Suarez have been chasing Usher here for a few laps now. They were right up next to each other, but they had to get through some traffic, and they kind of split things up again. Did Kendrick Taylor just got by Ove Trengrade. Ove fighting back. The Scandinavian driver not giving up here, Sam. Certainly not the race probably he wanted today, but he's still got something to fight for here.
Yeah, top 15 is always a little bit of bragging rights, you know.
Gotta walk away with something.
Yeah. Did you get a top 5? No. Did you get a top 10? No. Did you get a top 15? Yeah.
Boy, Ove, a little bit too quick to the throttle there, spinning it up to the front, though. Friesch, Wood, just about a half a second here. 4 to go.
I just don't think he can do it on top-end speed, Sean, unless it takes a mistake out of Friesch out of turn 6, and Friesch doesn't really make mistakes.
Nope.
My guess would be, judging by the setup, that Wood would have to do something in the first part of a lap. He's just not been able to get close enough yet. And it's hard enough to do as it is here at Road Atlanta.
Now, they do have a little bit of traffic in front of them, Sam. That could be a factor here over these last few laps.
Especially as the traffic is battling for 15th position. They might not be worried about these two guys.
Sam, we just had a development back there in that battle for P8, P9. Suarez, Gerber going at it down the hill into the chicane. Gerber going to let him have it. Has a little bit of back and forth.
That'll help Mark Usher out a little bit, not having to worry about those guys. And these guys have a lot of lap traffic to deal with too.
Absolutely. So far, so good. It looks to be moving out of the way.
Oh, Matt Wood's got the best run he's had on Gernot Friesch going down the back straight. I don't think it's enough still, but that's the first time we've seen him pull up alongside Friesch and challenge for the lead. It might have hurt him, actually, because he was not able to get a good run out of that chicane.
He certainly wasn't, Sam. He had to get on the binders. Let's look at the replay real quick. He had to fully get out of it.
Yeah, I think the problem here for Wood happened before the race even started. Loading the setup with too much downforce because he has the best run you could ask for, really. Just not enough top end speed to really properly challenge for that position. And he wasn't able to get a good exit out of the chicane. He falls about a second back. And if Wood has a bad lap here, he might actually have to worry about Bycroft more than Frisch in the closing couple of laps.
Steve only a second back now. That was 2 seconds before that incident. Steve may be looking at a shot, getting a little bit further up on that podium.
Pretty much spread evenly there, you can see from our helicopter shot. And Frisch got a bit of lap traffic to deal with, not in a hurry to get out of the way.
Ove Trengrade certainly not in a hurry to get out of the way of anybody when he's chasing Kendrick Taylor like he is right now.
Yeah, these two are trying to stay on the lead lap so they can battle for 15th place. This is the last lap. Gurno Frisch would love to get by these guys, but these guys are thinking, hey, if we keep racing hard enough, we might be able to finish on the lead lap because Frisch's race is over in the lap and he won't be hounding us anymore. The problem for Gurno, of course, is, well, he's stuck behind the lap cars here. That allows Matt Wood to run him down again, and that might give Wood one last opportunity down the back straight because Frisch is there now. He's right on the back of Trantere, and Trantere does pull to the side. He lets him by, but has the damage already been done?
It might have, Sam.
Well, Frisch,
Wood.
The only thing that might come out of this positive for Frisch as Wood gets a bad exit is Frisch will get the slipstream of Kendrick Taylor on down the back straight.
Wood's knocking. He's on the way. Bycroft losing a little bit of ground now. Looks like his shot at a P2 might be over. Not for Matt Wood. There could still be a finish there for a win, but Gurno Frisch coming over the top of the hill. He's got the gap, and he's got the win here at round 4 at Road Atlanta. Matt Wood, try as he might, has got to settle for P2. Steve Bycroft with a great P3 run. Juha Norlampi, who just kind of became the forgotten driver in this field, is going to wind up with a 4th. And the battle for 9th continuing, Sam. Suarez trying to hold off Gerber here.
Yeah, pretty much every position back to 9th place has been locked down, but here we've got Suarez with Gerber on his tail. Lukel behind them both, and Gerber has a nice run here, but he doesn't have a straight line speed. He's not able to pull out, and in fact, he's got to worry about Lukel all over the back of him. Suarez doesn't get a good run out of the final chicane, but I don't think Gerber has enough track to do anything about it. Suarez gets 9th, Gerber gets 10th, Lukel gets 11th.
And Schlacher is going to finish 12th today. He's going to try to here. Dustin Herroder in his mirror. But Stefan with another good race, another good run. That's 2 races in a row. He picks up a lot of spots and brings the car home. Rob Olenek going to bring it across the line. Qualified P13 today. Going to finish P14. And Sam, you said it earlier, you didn't want to jinx anybody, but it was a pretty uneventful, pretty clean race here at Road Atlanta today. But we're going to step away for just a moment, and we'll be back here on the Global SimRacing Channel for the results and a couple of driver interviews to wrap up round 4 here in the Lotus 79 CTC Championship. We'll be right back. Global Sim Racing Channel's presentation of the CTC Lotus 79 World Championships here today. Round 4 at Road Atlanta. And boy, what a race. Let's look at those results now. Your winner, Jordan Frisch, with a hell of a run today. Pretty mistake-free, and that prevents Matt Wood from winning this one. He'll have to settle for P2. Steve Bycroft with a solid race will finish on the last step of the podium today. Juha Norlampi, the preacher, solid day, but quiet, and that'll only result to P4 for him. Nicola Cochi has a great race, finishes in the top 5. 6 going to go to Tommy Anhola. Eduardo Prado, the Brazilian, a lot of pomp and circumstance, but that's as good as he could do today. 7. 8 for Mark Usher, Pablo Suarez, and Fabian Gerber to round out your top 10, Sam.
Eric Lukol came home in 11th place ahead of Stefan Schlacker, one of our bigger movers of the race, going from 20th to 12th. Justin Herodor rounds out the cars on the lead lap in 13th place, and then you end up with a couple drivers who were involved in a bit of action that they probably didn't want to be in. Rob Olyanek down there. Actually, sorry, I misread that. Rob's on the lead lap as well. I'm trying to work it out. I can't read my lines. Anyway, Rob Olyanek. Oh, there he is. Yeah, 14th place on the lead lap. Kendrick Taylor, 15th, a lap down. It says it on the screen, Samuel. Ove Trantre, also a lap down in 16th place. Don't know what was really going on with him today. And then Keith Turner, Robert Simpkins, Steve Salas, and Lasse Räisänen round out the drivers in the top 20, all one lap down.
All right, Sam, look at the last few drivers here. Jordy McMahon will finish a lap down there in 21st. 22nd to Simon Van Doon. 23rd for Todd Herner today. Sergio Morales, 24th. Johnny Bell, 25th. Brad Klink, 26th place. Andrew Horsley, 27th. 28th to Barry West. Barry got in trouble early. It's a shame. Barry looked to be strong here today, and we'll have to settle for 28th. 29th, going to go to Robert Wimberly. And Sam, I think we've got some drivers who want to talk about their race, and we'll see who we get to start here with, and it's going to be the winner, Jordan Frisch. Jordan, it's been a while since we've talked, my friend. Congratulations on a solid run. Mistake-free, it looked like.
Hi, Sean. Yeah. Thankfully, otherwise I wouldn't have won that race. The competition was crazy strong. Not only Juha, who's always quick, but yeah, Matt and Steve are super fast currently. So it's really hard. To be on top in these races.
What was the most challenging part of this race for you there today, Jordan?
Yeah, in the beginning, I was quite quick, so I don't know what the problem was. Maybe some kind of side pod damage, which is an issue here around this track. And I felt like I was getting a little bit less top speed after 10 laps or so, and then things were getting complicated.
You know, we talked about top speed a lot during the race and the various downforce settings available on this car. It looked like you were pretty trimmed out. It looked like that was what really gave you the advantage over Wood. What do you think?
I'm not sure what you mean by trimmed out. Actually, I had too much downforce in the race before, and I took off a little bit of wing, but yeah, didn't want to overdo it. So I think I was still running a little bit more downforce than the other fast guys.
Yeah, that's what the NASCAR boys call it when they take a little wing out of it there, Journo. They trim it out. So,
Okay.
but no, hey, listen, again, congratulations. Really exciting to watch you come back in this race and get a win. I had watched the race a couple hours ago. I know a little frustrating for you. So glad to see you fight back for the win here on the broadcast.
Thanks, Sean. Also good to see you again. And yeah, congrats to Matt and Steve as well. Great race by all.
All right, and that was Jordan Frisch, and now we've got Steve Bycroft up for Sam here.
Yeah, Steve, congrats on the podium finish here today. No, probably could have been looking for more at the end, but still, for the number 7 car, it's a solid finish. Steve, you got a copy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, hey, here we go. Yeah, congrats on third today.
Yeah, that was a tough one. I mean, last week, the car was so good, I didn't really have to work too hard. But here, I mean, you got to really work.
I've got to admit, it kind of came as a surprise in the closing laps as Frisch and Wood started battling and you closed them right down. Did you need them to battle to be able to run them down, or did you have a bit extra that was left on the table there? Because I didn't expect you to get up in that lead battle, but it really all came together at the end.
Yeah, the car was really good on long runs. I just got so far behind. I messed up qual, and then I got way behind in traffic. I hit one of the lap cars like right at the S's. So I lost, I don't know, I think I fell back about 4 seconds, something like that. So, I mean, it was just too big a gap, but I think the car was good.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of for a race at Road Atlanta. It looked like a lot of drivers were having a good time out there today. We didn't see a whole lot of attrition. Or was the temperature perfect, or how did it feel out there?
Yeah, the temperature made it a lot easier. It was cool all week. It was like 70 something, I think, track temp. Last week it was like 130. So that helped. Plus, the early race, maybe we got it all out of our system because the early race was a mess.
Well, we're glad you saved the clean one for us here on GSRC. Well, congrats on the podium finish, Steve. We'll see if you can back it up with another one next week at Road America.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
All right, Sam, and great chat there with Steve. I get to talk to the Italian Nicola Cocci. Nicola, congratulations! A good race. You had some really, really hard-fought battles out there. You do finish 5th, just a spot back from where you qualified. How much fun did you have today?
Hi guys. I don't know how to answer this question. I'm a little trouble. I will say half and half. That something strange happened to my car at this race because any other races my car was pretty slow in the first half or maybe first third of the race, and after that the car was getting faster and faster and faster. But in this race was all the way around, and I don't really know what happened. I looked to my tire pressure; it was a little bit too high, but I'm sure that the cooler temperature there made something to my setup, and I wasn't able to get any good traction or any good grip in general. So I just had to rely on the attrition that the lap car was creating, but there was none. So I just laid down a little bit and set because P5 is not that bad anyway.
Right, and at some point you've got to realize, okay, I've got a car that I don't like right now, and maybe I'll just take it easy. And like you said, P5 still a good run, a good point stay. You know, I hate that you had the trouble. Journo talked about it. He said real easy to pick up a little side pod damage. Maybe you had a little bit of undercarriage or side pod damage that had you off pace. What do you think about that? Did you make any contact with anything at any point?
No, my car was clean. I did some stupid mistakes because I spun twice. I don't know if you saw in the broadcast, but I know that the side pod is an issue here. So my line on the last corner is a lot more to the inside, and I think that my side pod in the end of the race was slightly damaged top. So because I know that I don't have to pass to that bump there. So I don't think it's aerodynamic damage or side pod damage or anything like that. But with this car is it's simple in the theory, but when you go go inside to the setup, it starts to be very very complicated, a lot more than I can cope with. So yeah, it's going to be always be a little mystery in there for me.
All right, Nicola. Well, thank you very much. And we will see you next week at Road America. Hopefully, we'll get you up on the podium there.
I hope so. See you, Sean.
All right. And that's Nicola Cocci. Sam, you caught up with Tommy and Holo real quick.
Yeah, we have Tommy Mikael Unhola, who came home in 6th place today. Not a bad run, Tommy, but to be honest, for the second half of the race, probably a bit of a quiet one.
Oh yeah, it was not bad one. I didn't really have time to practice and started it today, so I was hoping for a clean finish, and there was really fast guys today there, and they got draft from each other, and I was left alone, and so it was a bit boring in second half, but it was kind of fun to pass lapped cars as they were behaving really well, and there was no really moments with them, I think, so it was fine.
How tricky is it when you have a race that, kind of gets quiet for you like that to maintain focus throughout the whole race? Because, I mean, this race track requires a lot of focus. It's very easy to make a mistake here.
Oh yeah, that's true, and it's sometimes really hard, but I needed to focus really hard anyways now, as I got bit of contact in somewhere in beginning of the race, and I think I got a bit of damage, maybe not too much, but car was a bit hard to drive, so I had to concentrate really hard all the time, and almost lost it a couple of times, so I had stuff to do even when I was driving alone.
All right, well, sometimes a bit of damage or a nuisance can actually help you in the long run. We hope you have a cleaner race next week at Road America.
Yeah, I hope so. Will be fun, I hope. I have not driven this car there, I think, so we'll see.
Yeah. Well, sometimes, Sean, it takes a little bit of an annoyance. I think wasn't it Lindbergh said he was able to fly the plane all across the Atlantic, and he was able to stay awake because there was a fly in the cockpit. It's just those little annoying things that help you do your job better. Sometimes, I feel I commentate better when I have to put up with you. That's a joke. You're a good guy, Sean.
Well, no lack of focus today, Sam. Tell you what, lots of people to thank here for this one, especially you, my friend. But we want to thank the companies that provide the software and hardware for our broadcasts, listed right here on your screen. We want to thank June Lalonde, who provides all of our wonderful music. See the screen to how to get a hold of more of her great work. I want to thank the team today, Sam, Jed, and Dougie. And if you'd like to find out more about GSRC, including upcoming races, well, you can find it at the Global SimRacing Channel.com, or you can check us out on social media, Twitter at GSR Channel, Facebook. Just type in Global SimRacing Channel. You'll find us there. Instagram, GSRC_Graham. Don't forget to head over to our YouTube page. You're probably there right now. If you're not subscribed to us, the button will be red. Hit it. We'd love to have another sub. And we want to also thank you for joining us today. Don't miss a moment here on the Global SimRacing Channel. Going forward, our next race here for the Lotus 79 CTC Championship is next week, July 14th, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's going to be Road America. And now we've also got the upcoming races for all of our other series that we carry here on the network listed on your screen. So check those out, mark them down on your calendar. But folks, race fans everywhere, until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.